Hey there, YouTube. It's Leo Olderpold. Ah, mm. And it's a crazy time. Just been into town to get a couple of last minute bits and pieces for various people. Um, and it's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. It's like, why do people do it every year? I really got no idea. Wow. Wow. So much stress. So much stress to try and get things done a couple of days before Christmas. Just millions of people sort of stuck together in this big, homunculus mass, and trying to cut through the crowd to go to where you want to go and get anything done is just a nightmare. So, whew. Anyway, I'm decompressing a little now. So yesterday was the solstice, the day of the solstice, which was my celebration. This time of year instead of Christmas, which was great because myself and my girlfriend spent the day together, opened our presents, had a great time, and now she's gone for till this time next week to go and be with her family and stuff, which means I'm on my own again, which is awesome and wonderful. So I'm chilling and I'm drinking a mud in your eye. I'm chilling out with a beer now called Hobgoblin, which is a very common beer here. And I've got a bit of a cold at the moment, so I'm following it up with a chaser. For purely medicinal reasons, of course. Of this stuff right here, Woodford Reserve, which I have to say is the best bourbon I have yet tasted. I like a good bit of bourbon, but that Woodford Reserve, it's in another league. It's in another league. But I've been watching a lot of YouTube, and you guys are doing your 2016 best 5 of 2016 videos at the moment, so I figured I'd do one as well. Now I know I did a top 5 tobaccos of significance video about 6 months or so ago, but I've discovered a few things since then, and I'm going to try and keep it keep the tradition, the YouTube pipe community tradition going of doing it this time of year. So this is my first pipe in a couple of days. I haven't really been able to smoke. And it's good. I'll tell you what I'm smoking in a moment. But without further ado, here's my top 5 of the year. I've had to think a little bit about this. A lot of things going on. I've sampled some fine tobacco this year. And as you know, it's hard to tease out your favourites. But a few things I wanted to try for a long time, and I got the opportunity, and boy, are they good. So first off, at number 5, one that I wanted to try for ages, Dark Strong Kentucky. This tin was sent to me by Timber Drifter, which was awesome. That was about the same time as I also had a sample sent to me, a small sample sent to me by Wolfgang, Vogie 73. So the world conspired to get me to try this Dark Strong Kentucky this year. Now, unfortunately, this stuff is not available in the UK, but if you have good friends in Germany, the land of my birth, there is this stuff, which is exactly the same thing. This is from Janssens Pfeifendepot in Hamburg, I believe. It's exactly the same thing. It's flipping awesome. Go out and get yourself some. Oh, it's just wonderful. That licorice sort of smell I get when I open the tin. Brilliant. So actually this is going to be a top 7, not a top 5, simply because there's a couple of things I've kind of lumped together. I'll explain why in a minute. Because the next thing on my top 5, number 4, in joint place. Now, my old favourite Nashville County. You can't beat this stuff. It is amazing. And because it comes in a 100-gram tin, this tends to be the thing that my tobacco pouch gets stuffed with first thing in the morning if I'm going out somewhere. So I'm usually smoking this more than anything else. However, earlier on in the year, my friend in Germany, Marcus, sent me some. And then later on, when I met Wolfgang, back in September, he brought me a tin, and he sent me another tin recently. So Matt Barron's Golden Blend. This is awesome. I love this stuff so much. And I tend not to have a bulk tin open, or 2 bulk tins open, I should say, at one time. So I was trying to work my way through my Nashville County before I opened this one. But I tell you, when I got my package from Wolfgang the other day and he'd sent me another tin of this, I went straight upstairs and I thought, great, excellent, I've got another tin I can chuck in the cellar. And I grabbed the tin that he gave me earlier on in the year and cracked that one right open. And I'm really glad I did. It's just, I'd forgotten how good this was, because I haven't smoked it for a couple of months since my last open pouch ran out. And because I had some of this in pouch form. For kicking about for a while, so I didn't want to open this tin for a bit, but am I glad I did. I could just smoke this all day. I think definitely become one of my desert island tobaccos. But so I kind of grouped those together because they're my all day go-tos. Now at number 3, I could not do one of these videos without including a Jermaine's blend, Jermaine's Brown Flake. Now, I bought this tin about a year or so ago, and it was kicking about in my cellar, which is just a big plastic box I keep in my bedroom of unopened tins. And I thought, well, you know, I'm going to try that. I'm going to crack it open earlier on this year, so I did that. Flipping sublime stuff. It is absolutely astounding. And I'd only bought one tin thinking to myself, well, if I like it, when I open it and smoke it, I'll just buy some more. Yeah, right. As anybody who knows Jermaine's or Esoterica knows, the minute you discover something like this, they have not got it anymore. And I have gone all over Britain at the moment trying to find some. The internet shops, that is, not literally driving. Similarly in Europe, in Germany, I know none of the stockists have it either. So this one tin of Brown Flake is the only one I have. And I got a couple of the tins of the special Latakia Flake upstairs in my cellar as well, which I'm aging. And I figured that this would be, you know, relatively easy to get hold of. Okay, maybe have to wait a couple of weeks, but this stuff has been out of stock for months. Months. I've been trying to get some more of this without success. So that's at number 3. Now, number 2 and number 1. I had a hard time finding or making a choice between these two, but I did in the end, I guess, maybe. What I'm smoking at the moment, by the way, is the Golden Blend. I can't remember whether or not I mentioned that. My head's still a little fuzzy from the head cold, you know. But I had a hard time choosing between number 1 and number 2. So I'm going to go with these in this kind of order, really. At number 2, I made a video about it the other day, so I'm not going to bore you on this video with more of the same, but it's the Tom's Twist by Motsek tobacconist in Kiel. Mind-blowingly good tobacco. Really just absolutely beautiful. As I said, I'm going to say no more about that because I only just did a video review of it. But at number one, I had a real experience with this tobacco earlier on in the year. I'd had a sample of it, and I'd heard it was pretty strong. But I thought, hell yeah, you know, I'm a cigarette smoker. So So I had a bowl for breakfast one day. Whew! Big mistake. And it put me off. So I had this sample knocking around for ages. And then whilst going through YouTube, I watched a number of videos of people reviewing it, and various people on some of the social media groups it would pop up from time to time. And everyone was raving about it. And I thought, well, do you know what? Maybe I need to give that tobacco another go. So I did, and I'm really glad that I did. Because it's quite simply phenomenal. And that tobacco is Revor Plug by Gawith and Hogarth. I believe this is now made by Gawith and Hogarth, but it's quite an old and very iconic tobacco here in the UK. Now, I sent some of this to Timber Drifter earlier on in the year. I've just sent some to Volgy73, and Johan, the Mindful Pipe, you'll be pleased to know some of this is on its way to you now as well. The reason being, I was just in town there. Now, I've got very little good things to say about my local brick and mortar tobacco shop. It's quite legendary in this country. It's very well known, but I tell you what, every time I go in there, it's never got anything that I want. If you guys out there like Monty Python as much as I do, go and watch the Cheese Shop sketch. In fact, I'm going to put a link to it in the bucket. Follow the link, watch the Cheese Shop sketch, and that is exactly what this tobacco shop is like. Seriously. It's rubbish. They're overpriced. They tried to charge me twice the price of a Missouri Meerschaum corn cob like this that I would usually pay anywhere else. And I just kind of stopped going in there because it wasn't worth it, you know. But I was pleased the other day when I went in to try and get some of this for Wolfgang, just on the off chance. And I figured, well, hey, I'll pay a bit more for it if they've got it. So what? If they've got it, which they won't have because they're rubbish. And sure enough, he had like a dozen pouches of the stuff. So I was like, woohoo, great. And not only that, actually cheaper than where I usually get it, which is incredible. So I can finally say something good about my local brick and mortar here in Exeter, which I'm not going to give the name of, incidentally, but you know who you are. This stuff is quite simply phenomenal. It's not a breakfast smoke, as I learnt to my cost. At least, you know, not until you've eaten. But on a full stomach, oh. Now, it comes in this is half the size that it comes in. It's a plug, as you know. You know, you guys know plugs, you know I like my plugs. It comes in a block, you know, twice that length. And crumbles really easily. You don't have to, you know, use a sharp knife. You can almost just break a chunk off and crumble it into your pipe. But oh my God, it is amazing, amazing. Such a deep, rich, smooth smoke. It's a Virginia Burley. I've got no idea what they do to it, but whatever it is, it's magic. They just put a little bit of magic in this tobacco. And yeah, of an evening with a good whiskey or a good cup of coffee during the day. You know, close your door or go outside, I don't know, put some earphones in so you're not being bothered by noises around you or whatever, and just savour. It's amazing. So that's my number one find of the year, and I'm really glad I gave it a second go. And as I say, Johan, there's some on its way to you, and Wolfgang too, if you haven't already got your package. So yeah, that's it. That's my top 5. I only took 15 minutes to make a video for top 5. Anywho, keep making the videos, folks. I'm really enjoying watching yours at the moment. I've got a bit of time off work, so I'm catching up with people's videos, which is fantastic. And yeah, it's always good to hear from you guys, even if I don't necessarily comment. I will like your video. Anywho, yeah, I'll speak to you guys again soon. Have a great Christmas, couple of days, and I'll see you again. Ta-ta!